To some, Kathryn Kuhlman was a saint. To others, she was a sort of superstar of the bizarre, a possessed-looking woman in a flowing gown whose temple of healing was the TV tube. One thing fairly certain about the charismatic woman who liked to call herself the handmaiden of the Lord was her ability to transfer a strange power to those with whom she came in contact.
I stood there amazed in 1948 when the woman told me that she'd been healed of a tumor in Franklin, Pennsylvania. I was awed. Or when this Mr. Orr came and said that he'd received sight in an eye. Because I'd never touched him, I'd never prayed for him. I, too, was curious as to what had happened. Recently, the St. Louis Globe-Democrat reported that since 1948, and this is the figure that they gave, that at least 2 million people had been healed by the power of God through this ministry.
At one time, I thought this was well, it was phony. But when it happened to me, I'll just tell the whole world that this is the truest thing that ever was. And I've seen healings here that make your hair stand on end.
Hi, my name is Carol, and I had a healing last month. I had ankylosing spondylitis, which is arthritis of the small joints of the spine, and it has been verified by x-rays that calcification had set in, and the doctors had confirmed it as being incurable and that it would get progressively worse. I had a healing, and my spine is straight, and I'm fine, and praise the Lord, I'm better than I have ever been, and I'll never be the same again.
People. This is what the news media has given. That's the reason, you know, the ministry needs no defense. These miracles of healing need no defense. Sitting there are thousands who are watching. And they may feel as though that I am over dramatic when someone is wonderfully healed by the power of God. What they don't understand is that I'm just as thrilled with the very last miracle that I saw God performed as the first time. There are no words in the human vocabulary to describe spiritual experiences and emotions because these things are spiritual, but as real as the air that you breathe.
I thought they needed more air conditioning. I was getting so terribly hot, and then all at once, when I turned to look at Bernie, my head turned without holding it up. Now I can feel my hands and everything, and I noticed as soon as I stood up, I could feel my feet. With multiple sclerosis, you don't have any feeling.
I was a 245-pound vegetable, all humped over, stiff neck, left side paralyzed. As I walked in this auditorium,
I had one too.
God performed a miracle. He straightened my body completely up. I had no ill feelings. My hands straightened up. I could turn my neck. My left side had use in it. I was a new man.
I know from my own experience in my 30 years of surgery and working with patients of this kind that this is medically impossible, that this has to be a miracle of God to give me this healing of my back and to relieve this constant pain that I had in my leg.
How do you feel now?
I feel vibrant.
Vibrant?
I feel like I could shock the world.
By doing what?
Praising the Lord.
I was blind and was led around like blind people.
Have you seen a doctor about your condition?
Oh, yes, for years.
And what happened this afternoon?
I don't know. I started to cry, and I didn't ever cry much because I think that's one of the things about glaucoma. You don't have much fluid in the eyes or something. And then I thought I saw the stage, but I didn't believe it. I thought it was in my mind's eye that I saw it, and I took my glasses off and rubbed my eyes, and I said to Quan, I see a little boy in a green sweater. I was stunned. I couldn't say anything. I kept wanting to cry, but I couldn't. It was just that I was walking around dazed. I couldn't believe I was really seeing it.
Even though I believe in the supernatural power of God, I'm not personally immune to sickness. I, too, can become ill.
Kathryn Kuhlman died following open-heart surgery. It's likely, however, that her legacy of love and healing will be an inspiration for generations to come. The lady from the little town of Concordia, Missouri, made too strong an imprint on too many millions of people to be soon forgotten.